Short answer, it isn't legally irrelevant at all, and calling it self-incriminating actually cuts against Fredrickson's own argument, not yours. Let's strip the rhetoric out and walk through this cleanly and bluntly. Nash 1. The live stream is evidence, not protected mockery. Open quote, I wonder if code enforcement knows about this new room that will be rented out. Close quote. That statement, combined with the video showing a newly constructed habitable room, does three things legally. 1. Admits knowledge of a potential violation. 2. Demonstrates intent, renting out a habitable space. 3. Documents the condition that triggered enforcement. That is not protected petitioning. That is an evidentiary admission. Courts are very clear on this. The First Amendment does not immunize admissions of unlawful conduct. Filming yourself committing or acknowledging a violation doesn't transform enforcement into retaliation. It gives code enforcement probable cause and documentary proof. So when he says Claim 3 is legally irrelevant, that's flatly wrong. It is directly relevant to justification for enforcement. Number 2. The letter does not show retaliation. It shows routine enforcement. Chad Gray's letter identifies a complaint, cites a public social media post, lists specific code provisions, requests voluntary compliance, explicitly states enforcement escalation is a last resort. That is textbook by-the-book code enforcement. There is no threat, no coercion, no punishment, no suppression of speech. Notifying a property owner that noncompliance could lead to enforcement or demolition is not a threat. It is statutorily required notice. Courts do not treat lawful notice of consequences as intimidation. Number 3. Threaten your landlords. No, that didn't happen. A threat requires intent to intimidate or coerce, an unlawful demand, or retaliation for protected conduct. What happened instead? Gray informed owners of violations, explained legal limits on RV tenancy, outlined permitting requirements. That is exactly what code enforcement is legally obligated to do. Calling that a threat is advocacy spin, not law. Number 4. Blocked your access. To what exactly? This is where the argument collapses. There is no evidence Gray blocked physical access, no order barring Fredrickson from entry, no seizure, lockout, or denial of use by the county. If access was lost, it was because the property owner faced compliance obligations. The tenant was not lawfully permitted to occupy or modify the structure. That is a consequence of the code, not interference with access. Courts do not treat loss of access caused by lawful enforcement as a constitutional violation. 5. Harass you with private actors or armed confrontations. Unsupported and misleading. You're right to call this out. Facts. Colorado is an open carry state. No firearm was brandished. No threat was made. No evidence of coordination exists. Archbell and Thayer acted independently. Using words like armed confrontation is a deliberate implication of violence without factual support. Courts hate this. It destroys credibility. Open carry, intimidation. Presence, harassment. Disagreement, conspiracy. Measure 6. No conspiracy, no retaliation, no 1983 claim. For retaliation, Fredrickson must show 1. Protected activity, 2. Adverse government action, 3. Causal link because of the speech. He fails on number 2 and number 3. Enforcement was based on documented violations. The same enforcement would apply to anyone. No evidence speech triggered punishment. No evidence code enforcement acted outside policy. As for legal petitioning, live streaming is not petitioning. Mocking code enforcement is not petitioning. His only actual petition was registry removal, unrelated, denied, and handled by the courts. There is zero nexus between that petition and county zoning enforcement. Number 7. Ironically, Claim 3 hurts Fredrickson, not you. By admitting he created the condition, he filmed it. He joked about enforcement. Enforcement followed. He supplies the county with notice, evidence, justification, non-retaliatory motive. That is the opposite of a civil rights violation. Bottom line, no sugarcoating. Calling Claim 3 legally irrelevant and self-incriminating is backwards. It is legally relevant, evidentiary, justifying enforcement, fatal to a retaliation theory. The argument relies on buzzwords, retaliation, harassment, armed confrontation, to mask the absence of facts. A court would see this for what it is, lawful code enforcement triggered by the tenant's own documented conduct, followed by an attempt to constitutionalize the consequences. If you want, I can also break down why this would likely fail at a Rule 12 B6 stage point by point